Good day. I'm Dr. Boyce Watkins from Your Black World and the Black Business School, and I'm sitting here and I am drinking some coffee and getting ready to shut it down for the day. I just got back from Philadelphia. We just had a great event in Philly. What's going on, Tierra? How are you? Hit me up, Tierra. I'm coming out to LA next week for a run, so I definitely want to see you and hang out with you and a few of my other friends that are out there. So hit us up, girl. Anyway, what's up, Rodney and Brandon Black and Lisa Jackson? Hello, how are you? I'm not going to take up a lot of your time today. I'm just going to, first of all, say hello and thank you for joining me with drboycetv.com. This is the home for intelligent black people. So if you like to think, if you like to use your brain cells, then this is the place for you. But if you like ignorant shit, then I'm sure World Star has something even more interesting than listening to some old college professor. What's up, Uncle Jerry? How are you? Phil, how are you? Montrose, Riley, good to see you. I see Ron Adams in here. You know what? My friend Vicky Dillard has this really cool thing she's been doing. She was on Your Black World today, and she did she has a new award, and the award. If you guys know this is the concept. We're about to have class for a minute. The class is going to be in session. Powernomics class. Dr. Claude Anderson, in his book Powernomics, which I actually have. I keep the book nearby. I always like to have it nearby. It's like it's like a racial security blanket because it gives us like these superpowers. But anyway, actually not in Powernomics. He doesn't talk about in Powernomics. He talks about in Black Labor, White Wealth. In Black Labor, White Wealth, there's a concept called meritorious manumission. Meritorious manumission is a reward that slaves used to get for being good slaves. Like it's kind of like the old fashioned version of what we today might refer to as a good nigga sticker. You know, you got people in Hollywood that get a good nigga sticker, like they say, Oprah, you did a good job. Thank you for taking down Michael Jackson for us. You get a good nigga sticker, right? Well, the good nigga sticker used to be the Meritorious Manumission Award. And Meritorious Manumission was basically where slaves would be rewarded for saving a white person, entertaining white people. That might be a way you get some rewards. Snitching on other slaves, taking other slaves down, and basically cooning, like butter biscuit kind of activity, right? So anyway, Vicky created this award, and she sent me one, and I'm gonna start giving them out every now and then. And it's the Coon Award, and it says Meritorious Manumission Butter Biscuit, and it's a great little trophy. It's got a little dog and the little coon at the top, which I just think is just extraordinary. Because I think that like when people really engage in extraordinary levels of coonery, like superhuman like Avengers level amounts of coonery, like Incredible Hulk of cooning, like they deserve to be rewarded for that. They deserve to be honored and recognized for their extraordinary commitment to coonery. And so we have the Meritorious Manumission Butter Biscuit Award, and that's what it is. So this is what it looks like. So yeah, we're going to be giving that out at some point. I might give out about one a week. That's about all we can do, and then maybe we'll put them in the racial trade, like the NBA lottery has trades, and you trade players from one team to another. We can trade them over. Maybe we trade them to the white folks. We can get us maybe a Rachel Dolezal or something, just somebody who's really down, and get that person out of here. So anyway. So I will be giving out an award at some point tonight. I'm thinking that the nominee that I want to aim for, I'll tell you who it is in a minute. I'm not gonna give it away. I want it to be a big surprise, like winning an Oscar or something. All right. So anyway, here's what got my attention today. Here's what got me on this video right now. Hit the thumbs up button and share this, please. If you're watching on Facebook, YouTube, anywhere, please hit the share button or the subscribe button and the like button and all that stuff. And also make sure you join Black Enough. If you're on Facebook, just know it's only a matter of time before they kick me off Facebook. It's only a matter of time before I'm gone. It's only a matter of time before you come looking for my page and it says Negro not found, right? Literally, I have gone and disappeared and gone to another dimension. So join us at blackenough.com. That's our social media platform we have set up. We're making substantial infrastructure investments there. People are already there. There are tens of thousands of people there. So there you go. Yeah. Oh yeah. Mayweather. Oof. We might. You know what? You guys are my Facebook friends. And that means you can send me direct Facebook messages. So if you know of somebody who's engaged in extraordinary coonery, like just superhuman levels of coonery, feel free to make a nomination. Again, these are hardworking Americans who deserve to be rewarded for the fact that they sold their souls up the river. All right, so let me read what was on my mind today. It's an article from Vox, and Vox apparently has, see, y'all already making nominations, so you getting my attention. You distracted me now, but just write the names down. Send them to me though. Send them to me, man. Y'all got a whole long. We give out one every hour and never run out of nominees. So this article is titled "Secret Documents Show Russian Plot to Stoke Racial Violence in America." That the Russians see race as an avenue through which they can gain power in America, that they can disrupt American elections. So here's what it says. It says the Russians who interfered in the 2016 presidential election are still at it. And this time they're trying to ignite racial violence in America and a partial collapse of the United States. According to secret documents obtained by a Russian opposition group, hackers have discussed plans to stir up racial resentment in the United States in hopes of tearing American society apart. The operatives are apparently associates of Yevgeny Prigozhin. I mangled his name, but I'm doing my best. The man who set up a troll farm and was indicted by special counsel Robert Mueller for his role in the 2016 meddling. These documents, shared with but not verified by NBC News on Monday night, are extremely troubling. Prigozhin and his team tried to inflame racial tensions during the 2016 cycle by operating several social media accounts that tried to discourage African Americans from voting, mainly by repeating messages of police violence and voter fraud. But the apparent new plot, discussed as recently as 2018 ahead of the 2020 presidential election, goes much further. The documents reportedly contain shocking proposals, such as sending Black Americans to Africa for, quote, combat prep and training and sabotage, as well as targeting people who have previously been incarcerated and people who, quote, who have experience in organized crime groups for participation in civil disobedience actions. So it sounds like they're saying that according to this plan, they were thinking about trying to get a lot of Black people to go to Africa to learn combat prep and training and sabotage. Okay. I'm gonna sip my coffee on that one. Do y'all know any Black people? Y'all know any Black people who went to Africa and learned combat and military tactics that are being used against the federal government? Anybody? I'm sorry, I'm just laughing because I'm like, what? I thought they were gonna say, I thought it was gonna be like, they're gonna put memes up that say Black Lives Matter or, white privilege or barbecue Becky and get Black. I thought it was something like that. I don't know. Now tell me if y'all know any Black people who left the country and went to Africa to get military training. I'm sorry. I'm just okay. The goal, it seems, was to encourage the newly trained African Americans to create their own Pan-African state in the South that would, quote, undermine the country's territorial integrity and military and economic potential. And according to one document, by disabling the internal situation in the United States. I'm laughing because I'm trying to, they're really talking about like Black people getting like military, like, do y'all where's it sounds like sci-fi. It sounds like science fiction because it's like, we ain't got no fucking military, man. We ain't even got fathers in our homes, man. Like, where's his military at? Like, really? So whoever wrote this report or put together this outline or this plan, I think they've underestimated the power of Black brainwashing. I think that really underestimated just how cooned out we are, how cowardly we are. Like as a community, I'm sorry, but y'all, I'm not trying to diss our people, but y'all know what I'm talking. Ain't nobody, most black people ain't about that life. Most black people don't even want to lose their damn job. I don't know of any black people trying to go into Africa to get paramilitary training so they can come back and establish a military base in the South and destabilize the military and economic might of the United States. I just don't know those people. I'm not saying that there aren't people who think that way. I mean, you've had people that picked up a gun on behalf of black folks, but if we had that mindset, if we were military minded like that, then shit, a whole lot of racism would have ended a long time ago. The race war would have started decades ago. Like if we were really on something like that, it would have been set off for real. You know, like we spent 30 years being trained how to march and how to protest, how to hold up picket signs and scream Black Lives Matter. You got most black people were scared to even say Black Lives Matter, let alone pick up an AK-47 and create a military infrastructure and post in the South. That's just not what. I don't know where they came up with this plan. That's a pretty ambitious plan. So they said the goal, it seems, was to encourage the newly trained African Americans, these invisible people, to create their own Pan-African state in the American South. Okay, it's possible that Pris Goldman's associates felt they had an opening to do this because President Donald Trump's 2016 election victory deepened conflicts in American society, which is true. Trump being elected certainly made a lot of us much more race sensitive than we were before. But I haven't seen anybody out here trying to shoot no white folks over Donald Trump. All I've seen is people thinking they're going to hashtag him to death, or that I'm just that we're going to pass memes, nasty memes that hurt people's feelings. Like that's pretty much as gangster as most black folks get. I mean that's a really fascinating plan. So they said this would be quite the dastardly plan. Yes, it would be. But it's important to note two things. First, there is no indication of how seriously the documents and the plan overall have been received in Russia. It's possible the set of proposals went nowhere. Second, there is little to no chance that the plot would have worked, even if the Kremlin had put it into action. If the Kremlin had tried to put a plot like that into action, you know what would have happened? Whoever set that up would be looking like John Brown did. Remember when John Brown, y'all know the story about how John Brown, who really was about that life. John Brown, one of the greatest Americans in history, sacrificed his own sons, got his sons trained, to shoot a gun, and he had his sons ready to die, had some other people with him that was riding with him that were ready to die. And John Brown's plan was, I'm going to go down south and I'm going to set it off. He said, I'm going to do a Queen Latifah, run up in that bitch and set it off. And as soon as the slaves see that we done set it off with theirs, they all going to go kill their masters and join us in the revolution. Does anybody know how that story ended? Tell me how that story ended. I'm going to open this door because it's hot up in here. Tell me how did the John Brown story come to an end? Did it lead to the exoneration of all the slaves in the South? Was there like the big war take place that led to freedom for black people everywhere? What happened in the John Brown situation? Exactly. Nothing. The slaves did nothing. The slaves sat there and they said, "Oh, he's gonna get killed for that one," and they let John Brown and his sons die because they did not. They were like, we're not about that life. We've been brainwashed. We have Stockholm syndrome. We'll protect the massa. We'll fight you before we fight the massa. You got some black people that think that way. So I just think it's fascinating that they had these amazing plans for black people, but whoever made this plan doesn't understand black people very well. Now they said the second thing is that the point that they're making here, which I think is not an invalid point, is they said that let me see here. They said it's unclear if the racial violence plot was meant to disrupt the upcoming presidential election, but it's possible, as top U.S. officials have repeatedly said, there's a good chance Russia is gearing up to mess with the vote. I think they are too. And I wouldn't be surprised if there was a if this Russia investigation against Trump has some validity. I think Trump's in bed with the Russians. I have no doubt about it. Trump has done a lot of business with the Russians. Trump's a greedy bastard. You know, he does a lot of things for money, and he didn't stop being a crook just because he's in the White House now. So that's one area I want to make clear. But one of the things that you got to understand too is that even as they prove that the Russians were meddling in the U.S. election, what's fascinating is that the United States has always meddled in everybody's election. You know, whatever they're doing to us probably isn't even a fraction of what we have tried to do to them and what we have done all over the world. In their minds, they're thinking we're just setting the bar even. We're just doing to you what you've always done to us, so that you know what it feels like to, and we have a chance to, have the same influence over your shit the way you have over our shit. In fact, but then again though, it's not out of the question that they've interfered with elections in the past, and so, I just think that this whole black paramilitary unit plan, I just find that fascinating. I'm like, where are they gonna get these black people from? Because I could get on the internet every day and recruit black people to do that. Be like, let's go to Africa and get military training and establish a base down in Alabama. And Negroes would be like, I gotta go to work on Tuesday. Like I can't go because I gotta go work on. Like that's just not. That's a stretch. That's like 200 years ahead of where we are mentally, and honestly, I'm gonna tell you, I'm not a person that believes that the country benefits from a race war. I'm not a person that believes that we benefit from violence, and also I don't think black people have ever really woke up saying I want to go attack anybody. We don't do that. That's what they do. That's what they do. We don't think like that. But we do have black people, and we do have black people who say, look, if you attack me, I might shoot back. In fact, no, I might not shoot. Now, ain't no might about it. I will. And ain't nothing wrong with that. There is nothing wrong with self-defense. Nothing wrong at all. So, I think that I think it's kind of crazy. I think this report, honestly, here's what that report is really doing. Hit the thumbs up button, by the way. If you haven't hit the thumbs up button, please hit the thumbs up button. Please share, subscribe, make comments, all that stuff. That really helps people come into the live. And also, if you want to support intelligent black media around the world, we reach a lot of people. We want to reach more. We could use your help. Feel free to support us at intelligentblackpeople.com. That's intelligentblackpeople.com. We don't want donations. Just sign up, become a patron, and we'll give you free stuff in exchange for your investment. It's an investment. We're not into the donation thing. Also, we have a social media platform, blackenough.com. So if you're sick of Facebook and annoyed with being banned for whatever reason, or the people that you love being banned, join us at blackenough.com. There's freedom of speech there. We totally support the rights of people to do whatever they want. All right. In fact, so I think in addition to the Butter Biscuit Award, I'm gonna start giving the Blag Enough Award. Whoever's blag enough that week, you can nominate somebody for being blag enough, and we're gonna give them an award too. So anyway, moving on. Here's what's interesting about this story, this report. I don't know how people are going to interpret this report. I'm under the assumption that people are selfish bastards, and that we're ultimately people are going to interpret it in a way that benefits their agenda. So what I can see, the Democratic Party leadership saying in response to this report is, you see, boys, the Russians are trying to get racial tensions riled up and to disrupt unity. One of the things they did mention in the article, I forgot about this, is one of their goals was to get African Americans to not want to vote, right? They said that they were encouraging African Americans to not vote to sort of create chaos in the system. So I can see somebody coming in saying, look, if you don't vote, you're doing what the Russians want you to do. And then also you're supporting Trump. You're putting Trump in office, because if you don't vote and Trump wins, then it's your fault that Trump's in office. Well, my response to that is very simple. I did not put Donald Trump in office. Hillary Clinton put Donald Trump in office. I did not put Donald Trump in office. The Democratic Party put Donald Trump in office. Because if Hillary Clinton, the Democratic Party, and Barack Obama had done right by black people, Donald Trump might not be in office, because black people would have been inspired to vote. So if you try to come and tell me that not voting is going to put somebody in office, then I'm going to respond by saying, fuck you. I'm still not going to let you bully me into doing something I don't want to do. Right? And the other thing, too, is that if you recall, whenever it came to voting, I never said don't vote. I've only said do what works best for you and your family. That's all I've ever said. That's all I ever want you to do. I don't want you to do what I tell you to do. Who am I to tell you who to vote for? I'm not going to tell you who to vote for. Just except, well, scratch that. You know what I'm going to tell you to vote for? Vote for black people. Vote for yourself. That's what I want. That I just want you to vote for black people. And sometimes you got to vote by proxy. So if that means a Democrat is the best option for you as a black person, then vote for the Democrat. If you think the Republican Party does a better job, vote for the Republican. If you think the independent candidate does a better job, then vote for the independent candidate. And we know that this two-party system is bullshit. We know it's silly. And we know that here's the thing. The reason the Russians are able to take advantage of racial tensions in America is because America is a society that has allowed racial tensions to persist and to fester. Right? The reason that they have anything that they can use against us to create division is because y'all haven't been addressing the shit. The reason the Russians say, oh shoot, we can just we can stir up the racial fire is because y'all sat here for 400 years shitting on a group of people and completely disrespecting them and run around the country pretending to be the moral authority of the damn earth and not handling your shit at home. So you left yourself wide open for this attack. Black people didn't do it. Black people aren't the ones who created this racial tension. Black people aren't the ones who invited the Russians to take advantage of it. They found our Achilles heel, says Marcus, and I agree with you. Our Achilles heel is race. I think that somebody said that racism and sexism are the serpents wrapped around the legs of the table on which the Declaration of Independence was signed. I don't remember who said it. Maybe it was, I think I heard it from Cornel West. But who's a great guy, by the way. I love Cornel West. In case you ever want, let the record show that I love Dr. Cornel West. I've been close to him in person on multiple occasions, and I love that brother. So just make sure we're clear on that. But I think I heard it from Dr. West, but maybe some white guy said it. I have no idea. Either way, if that's true, that is completely true. So when America doesn't heal its racial division by directly confronting the racial disrespect that black people have received, then yeah, you're leaving yourself wide open to the national security risk that comes from the fact that you have not addressed your race issue. You had a damn black president sitting in the office for 8 years who was damn near scared to say the word black, who never addressed black unemployment at all. When he was asked about black unemployment, he said, well, the rising tide lifts all boats. Okay, well, you just repeat that shit when the Russians come in and tear your country apart because you're ignoring the obvious. I don't understand why we think that it's okay for black people to just sit here at the back of the bus and let everybody else just crap all over us and get ahead of us and take our wealth and make fun of us and leave us behind and have us going through all this suffering, have us separated from our families, have us filling up the damn prisons, filling up the damn jobless, poverty, homeless shelters and shit. And you supposed to act like that's normal, like that's okay. We supposed to go back to business as usual and keep voting for our favorite Democrat. I'm not telling you what to do in the election at all. I'm just telling you, have some damn dignity. Have some decency for yourself. Have some damn self-respect. That's all I'm saying. I'm not giving any political recommendations. Y'all know when I talk about, make this clear, when I talk about politics, finances, or anything, I very rarely tell people what to do because I believe that has to come out of you. What I do is my job is to bring information, perspectives, and ask you questions such that when you answer those questions and when you analyze that information, when you see things from various perspectives, you come to the conclusion that works best for you. When I talk about investing, people say it all the time. What stock should I buy? I say, I'm not going to tell you that. I'm not here to give you investment advice. I'm here to tell you how investing works and how different types of stocks work and how different sorts of investments play a part in your portfolio. But it's up to you to decide what works best for you. I want black people who think. That's all I want. I don't really care what you think about it. I don't really care what you believe at the end of the day. I really don't. I don't care if you're Democrat, Republican, atheist, agnostic, Christian, Muslim. Don't matter. That shit don't matter to me. Just use your damn head and stop repeating what your oppressor has been telling you since you were a little kid. That's where you get trapped because you make yourself wide open and vulnerable to pimping. So whatever manipulation the Russians are doing to stoke the racial fires in America, whatever manipulation they're doing to us, that manipulation is nothing more than compounded manipulation, which is manipulation on top of the manipulation that's already been done to us. So we're kind of like the hooker that's just being passed around from person to person because everybody's fucking us. The Russians are manipulating us, but it ain't like the Americans haven't been doing that. It isn't like white supremacy hasn't been manipulating your mind since you were a little kid. That's why you got black people running around here really not caring about being black, really thinking that there's something else. Because everybody's playing you. Everybody's playing you. And you ain't got no friends in this game. You ain't got no natural allies. The only natural ally is you and other people who've gone through what you're going through. And I'm not talking about LGBT shit. I'm not talking about the white feminist that you think is your sister. I'm not talking about none of all those people are there. They're designed to pimp you. They're like, we can get black people on our page to follow our issues so that they can help us get the votes that we need to pass whatever bill we're trying to pass. If we get black people to support us in the feminist cause and get our soul sisters with us at the feminist march, our numbers will be bigger. If we get more, we get black gay black people and put them at the top and fund them and help them and fund Black Lives Matter and create this artificial movement and put a gay person at the top, then we're gonna have black gay people at the top of the black community. They're going to guide the community toward our ideology. That's what they're doing. You know, seriously, really, what was it? It's not a coincidence that whenever you watch a movie, 9 times out of 10, tell me if anybody else has noticed this. Have you ever noticed that whenever they have a character in the movie that is gay or that is sleeping with the gay person or whatever, they always put the black person in that role? They do that because they want to influence you. Americans have this weird kind of condescending sense of moral superiority. And they use this all around the world. They go to African countries and they're constantly wagging their finger saying, you people are so backwards, you people are so ignorant, you people need to advance and be just like us. And so what they do is they use various types of power they have, economic power, political power, military power, whatever it takes, to force those people to adopt their way of thinking and their way of life because they believe that their way of thinking is superior to everybody else. That's what they do. And if you want to know why African countries are now making deals with the Chinese, I talked about this on Your Black World TV earlier today. If you want to know why African countries are making deals with the Chinese now, it's because the Chinese want the Africans as business partners, and they've told them, we don't really care how you run your own country. You have what is called sovereignty, which means you get to decide in your borders what's going to happen in your house. The United States, they don't do that. The United States comes in and says, "Oh well, if we're going to do business with you in oil, we need you to change your laws on gay rights." Well, maybe they don't want to change their laws. Oh, we need you to change your laws on feminism. Well, maybe they don't. Maybe they don't want to be feminists. Maybe they actually want to stay married instead of having the chaos that exists in America. Oh, we want you to change what you're teaching about this. No, maybe we don't want our kids to be as dumb as American kids, because American kids are dumb as hell, getting their asses kicked educationally. Our country is going to be dead in 60, 70 years in terms of our ability to compete with the rest of the world. We're going to fall so far behind. It's going to be sad to see what this country looks like in about 70 to 100 years. It's going to be ridiculous. So at the end of the day, what I'm just simply saying is that I think black people, I think without regard to whether or not the Russians are manipulating the situation, without regard to whether or not Trump benefits if we're pissed off, without regard to what anybody else is saying, I think that we have to have our own conversation about where our community is going to go. And I'm not going to let that conversation be influenced because I've got some Democratic Negro like Simone Sanders on TV telling me that I need to go support Joe Biden because she's getting a paycheck from him. It's ridiculous. All right, so anyway, speaking of that, hit the thumbs up button. If you haven't hit the thumbs up button, please do that. Subscribe, all that good stuff. Let me go ahead and give out the Butter Biscuit Award of the day. The Butter Biscuit Award, this is our trophy. It says Coon Award, but Vicky Dillard, thank you, Vicky, for creating this award. The Meritorious Manumission Butter Biscuit Award. Those who just came in, this is an award that we're going to give to the Negro who earned their good nigger sticker for the week. And the winner for today, I need drum roll, please. The winner is Simone Sanders. Simone Sanders, who is the senior advisor for Joe Biden, who actually went on TV and defended Joe Biden's raggedy ass on that 1994 crime bill that led to the mass extermination of tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of black families and destroyed thousands of black communities. Thank you, Simone. So you will, maybe I can start singing for her. You're my queen to be. right? I'm gonna sing for you. Simone, is Simone here to pick up her award? Hey, did Simone Sanders arrive to pick up her Butter Biscuit Award? Okay, she's not here. Okay, all right. Okay, well, Simone's not here to pick up her award, so on her behalf, I will accept her Butter Biscuit Award for going on TV and having the audacity to defend Joe Biden and his attacks on black people in the 1990s, which came in the form of the Clinton crime bill, for which there are still probably hundreds of thousands of black people that are still incarcerated to this day as a result of the laws they changed in the 1990s. You see, people that go to prison, they don't just die and disappear. They're still alive. They're just away. They're like almost like the way you send your trash. You put your trash in the garbage and you think it's gone, but it ain't gone. It's like in a landfill somewhere, right? It's somewhere, right? So those people that you threw away, that you thought were just gone, like they were going to be dead or be in another dimension, like the Twilight Zone or something. No, those people are still alive. They're still behind bars, still affected by the laws that you put in place that you have not yet reversed. And I don't want to hear you telling me, oh, we're going to try to reverse, we're going to do it. No, you need to let those people out because they've become war criminals, because you've admitted that those policies were flawed, yet you still keep people incarcerated based on those policies. So before you tell me about Lil Paco from El Salvador, how he got separated from his mama and how terrible it is that he was away from his mama for 2 weeks, I need y'all to talk about little Shaniqua, who ain't seen her daddy since 1994. Okay, that's what you need to talk about. You need to tell me about let's see about Shaniqua first, and then we could go check on Lil Paco. But until Shaniqua gets taken care of, or whatever black child you're talking about, I'm sorry, in my family, my sister's name is Latanja, right? So we just creative with the names. Until you tell me what happened with that black child who got separated from his family 25 years ago, I don't really have enough emotional energy to pay attention to what happened to somebody whose family decided they wanted to come across the border illegally. No disrespect, don't hate them, ain't got nothing against them. I wish them the very, very best, but I'm not gonna go fight for those other people when we haven't fought for our own. And it should be insulting. I'm insulted personally. I'm really insulted that you've got actual Americans, meaning us, who are dealing with this type of nonsense, who are dealing with these failed, destroyed communities, this Marshall Plan, dealing with the fact that in Chicago, almost half of all the black males in Chicago between the ages of 20 and 24 do not have jobs and are not in school. People who are dealing with this sort of chaos, we're supposed to sit there and smile while you tell us that something that doesn't matter does matter. Like something that's irrelevant is relevant, but you yet are ignoring the most relevant things that are happening in our society and in our community, yet you expect me to be your damn ally, and you ain't show no love, no concern for me whatsoever? Man, you better get up out of here with that. You just go somewhere with that. So yeah, so the Butter Biscuit Award, if anybody sees Simone Sanders, she's if you haven't seen her, she's got like a walnut face and she looks like a dude. So if anybody sees Simone Sanders, tell her, just walk up, say, hey, bro, you got an award. Just hit up Dr. Watkins, and he's got the award waiting for you. So I'm gonna keep this right here for Miss Sanders, and she can pick up her award maybe when she gets some time. But then again, all that bootlicking, it'll fill up your schedule, because I'm sure Massa got her working hard today. So anyway, I'm gonna go, guys. Hit the thumbs up button, please. Please hit the thumbs up button, hit the subscribe button, share button, all that good stuff. I'm going to go, and also if you want a free e-copy of my book, It Takes a Village to Raise the Bar, go to drboycewatkins.net. That's drboycewatkins.net. And don't forget about blagenough.com. That's our social media platform where you can talk shit there all day long, every day, about whatever you want, and nobody will ban you. So if you want to have an outlet in addition to Facebook, you'll go to blagenough.com. So I'll see you guys soon. Take care. Have a good day. Peace.